Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Don't know if you can tell, but I had a little trim today. I've decided, I don't know what you guys think about this, let me know in the comments below. Obviously, I've been a skinhead for a while. I've looked like a borderline football hooligan who doesn't attend football matches anymore. But I'm gonna grow the top out a bit, and whilst it's coming back, we're gonna keep going to a skin fade on the side. I don't know, do you wanna see the long hair back? Do you not care? Let me know in the comments down below what the truth of the matter is, in your opinion. Today, I want to talk to you lot about Thomas Tuchel and Harry Kane. And I can see you already. You're not talking about my haircut because you don't care about that. You're talking about Benson. It's foolish. It's stupid. You don't go back to an ex. So why'd you go back to a manager again? Well, Chelsea tried that with Jose Mourinho. Mourinho round 2. We lifted the Premier League again. We had more moments of ecstasy from Mourinho. You remember running down the touchline at Anfield. Thomas Tuchel returning to Chelsea. And I also want to discuss the potential that Harry Kane also may come from Bayern Munich in the summer to Chelsea. But first of all, let's talk about a potential return for Tommy Tuchel to Chelsea Football Club. Now, it would be absolutely crazy for me to not have to give the full context of right now, 3 days before Chelsea play Liverpool in a cup final. Where do I stand? Where do I sit when it comes to my thoughts, my feelings right this second on Mauricio Pochettino, which is, again, another reason why Thomas Tuchel agreeing to leave Bayern Munich in the summer. It's a topical conversation for Chelsea fans because many of us, myself included, simply 2 weeks ago were saying Pochettino is done, get Pochettino out the door, and then when you start to call for those kind of changes, you start to think, well, what do we know? What's comfortable? Who do we like? Who do we think maybe didn't have the easiest time at Chelsea and was unfortunately sacked? Thomas Tuchel. Now, I know there was definitely reasons why Tuchel was sacked in the first place. But as of right now, 3 days before a cup final, Pochettino, in the last 2 weeks, has done a hell of a lot to start regaining my personal faith. I want to know where you guys currently sit in the build-up to this final. Is it one of those where we've kind of started to hit form, knowing that this cup final was coming, and then if we see a shambolic performance against Liverpool, lose the cup final, it kind of undoes all of the work that we started to see with the Palace result, the Villa result, the City result, and also performance? If Chelsea get battered by Liverpool in this cup final, in my opinion, I wouldn't be surprised because of how good Liverpool are. And I don't think at this point, I'm going to just say, if Liverpool convincingly beat us in this cup final, then it's all on Pochettino. Because it might not be. It might simply be the fact that they've got better players, they've been a group together longer, and they're just a better team than we are right now. So it wouldn't all be on the head of Pochettino unless it is obvious that it was his choices, his tactics, his substitutions that made Chelsea lose the game. So at this point in time, I don't want to see Thomas Tuchel back in a Chelsea dugout. And this is a two-part video here because I think it's important when a lot of Chelsea fans, a lot of people in the footballing world will be like, unfinished business for Thomas Tuchel potentially at Chelsea. We've heard Tuchel come out himself and talk about why things maybe didn't necessarily work at Chelsea. He's not been specifically speaking about the ownership, but the way that we hear Thomas Tuchel talk about how the ownership was so different to what he was used to when he came into Chelsea under Roman Abramovich, you can see how there may have been a discord there. But in classic Thomas Tuchel fashion, he's come out recently and said, well, I'm a bit different now. I've learned a lot from these experiences. But then at Bayern Munich, we're seeing basically the same things that we have seen from Thomas Tuchel at almost every single club that he's managed with. There seems to be a bit of a falling out with certain players not necessarily playing for him as a result of that. I think at this point, to give Pochettino some praise here, and again, I don't just want this to be, well, 2 weeks ago, George, you absolutely despised him and wanted him fired. That is kind of how football works. And I don't understand why YouTubers sometimes get a lot of stick for this, because we change our opinions all the time. Well, yeah, that's kind of like, it's a results-based business. The league table doesn't lie. If Chelsea is 16th, and then in a few weeks we're 8th, we're clearly in a better position when we're 8th than we are in 16th, so the mood changes. The swing happens where you're a bit more positive. You see the bright optimism, you see the potential future in a better light. And that's currently where I'm at right now in the build-up to this cup final, where I look at the job that Pochettino is doing, and I'm like, from that point where I was at rock bottom, you've only done good things from there. So clearly, from rock bottom, I'm a bit higher now. Thomas Tuchel back to Chelsea. I don't think you go back there again. I really don't. I think there was a massive issue between Tuchel and this new ownership that was the reason why he got fired prematurely. Many would say they wanted a project manager. Tuchel clearly wasn't it. They come into the club. Tuchel wanted it to be more like when Roman was there. Doesn't work, didn't work, and I don't think it would work again. As much as I love Thomas Tuchel. Now, the second part of this is Harry Kane. Victor Osimhen. I've been watching a lot of Victor Osimhen because you guys know I've been a massive advocate of this guy for some time. I've said he belongs at Chelsea. I don't know if it's just because of the way you see him talking with Drogba at the African Cup of Nations, whether that picture with the Chelsea shirt was kind of getting into my skin a little bit, and then all of a sudden I've been watching a lot more of Victor Osimhen recently, and I'm thinking like, is he actually a 130 million quid striker? I don't know. You then put into the equation Harry Kane at Bayern Munich. You see that Bayern Munich right now, they're in disarray. Bayern Munich cannot buy a win for love nor money, and they are single-handedly throwing the title in the direction of Bayer Leverkusen by keep losing matches in the Bundesliga. Yes, Bayer Leverkusen deserve everything that they're going to get at the end of this season at this point because they just keep winning. They're not losing. Xabi Alonso's doing an incredible job. Harry Kane went to Bayern Munich for the guarantee of winning trophies. And then as soon as Harry Kane arrives there, trophies just seem to dry up. It becomes a desert at Bayern Munich. Harry Kane went to Bayern Munich because he wanted to win things. And if Harry Kane doesn't win things at Bayern Munich, best believe, I think he's going to want to leave. And Chelsea are in desperate need of a striker. Harry Kane will feel as though there's unfinished business in the Premier League. If Chelsea do go in with an incredibly audacious bid, then I think signing Harry Kane would be a better option than Victor Osimhen. And at the moment, there are some rumours that Chelsea might actually be interested in trying to go for Harry Kane this summer. Now, I'd love to hear what you guys have to think about this. I'm not going to talk too much about Victor Boniface as well of Bayer Leverkusen, who Chelsea are also reportedly targeting for this summer, because I want to kind of try and do the news video slightly differently here in the middle of this season, because there are rumours every day, but there's no transfer window. We've got a cup final to look forward to. So I wanted to focus today on Tuchel potentially coming back, entertain that conversation. Right now we're back in Poch until we see mass deterioration again, and then we'll go back to not back in Poch potentially. But Harry Kane to Chelsea this summer, I feel as though this could be the move. If Bayern Munich don't win the Bundesliga, if they get knocked out of the Champions League by Lazio, which is currently a possibility, they've already basically just shook hands with Tuchel and said, this didn't work, mate, end of the season, you're out the door. I think all of the chaos at Bayern Munich as a result of this, Harry Kane, mate, it's not too late to come back to the Premier League. You've still got that record to chase down. Spurs, Big Ange Postecoglou, mate, he seems to be doing all right without you. I've always said it. Just because Harry Kane played for Spurs, it by default meant that I didn't like him. I've never not rated him, but I've never really been his biggest fan. But bloody hell is this bloke an unbelievable goal scorer, an unbelievable striker, and that is the level and that is the calibre that Chelsea 110% need to be going for in this upcoming transfer window. So, to wrap up this video, Tuchel back to Chelsea? I'm saying no. Harry Kane to Chelsea, on the other hand, is a big yes from me. Thoughts in the comments down below. Come on, you Blues.